my cutie little fairies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, my name is Angelina and I am your fairy makeup mother. I make videos all about makeup, specifically for textured skin and acne skin. I am your fairy makeup mother to guide you through life. I would love it if you liked and subscribed and also followed me on all my social media platforms. And I want to welcome you to the fairy garden of my life. Today's video is going to be my in-depth everyday makeup routine. I'm going to show you all my tips and tricks on how I get this look right here. All of the products, all the shade names, you will have every single thing to replicate this look if you want. I am very particular about how I do my makeup and what products I do my makeup with because I have very textured and acne prone skin. So make sure you grab your notebooks and take notes throughout the video because there's a lot of good tips and tricks in here. But yeah, if you want to find out how I got this everyday makeup look, just keep watching. Okay, let's get into it. My number one tip for skin prep, if you're doing your makeup like later in the day, so you did all of your skincare in the morning and you've been marinating in your skincare all day, especially if you're an oily gal, I highly suggest you get some oil blotting sheets. That way you can blot away any of the shininess. I'm pretty shiny all over my face. I love the dew, but not when I'm about to do my makeup. Thank you to this Arizona heat. It's September and it's still in the hundreds. When I put this oil blotting sheet on, you're gonna be like, look at that oil that's coming off of my head. You could literally fry some Oreos with that. Look at this oil. This is just off of my forehead. Isn't that gross? And then we're gonna do here on the cheek. Look at all of that. Ew. And this isn't a particularly greasy sunscreen. Like, it does leave a little bit of a dew, but I mean, I have oily skin, especially right now in this weather. That's my forehead and one cheek. Okay, now we're gonna do the upper lip. That's a lot of grease. That is so gross. I typically use about 3 or 4. You just wanna make sure you get any of that excess oil. That way it doesn't mix in with your makeup and make it go patchy or just change the finish of certain products. Gross. But now our skin looks back to normal and it doesn't look like a huge grease ball. On an everyday basis, I do use a primer just because I like to blur my texture. This is my Refi Blur and Hydrate Primer. It has that really cool applicator and you kind of use it like a gua sha. So you go from the middle of your face to the outside. If you hear my grandparents arguing, don't mind that. I just squeeze a little bit of the product out as I'm dispersing it on my face. And then when I'm done with this primer, I spray a little bit of 70%. Wow, that just got in my face because the fan blew. Oh my God, okay. I spray 70% alcohol on the applicator tip. That way bacteria doesn't get transferred all over my face the next time I use it. And then you just wipe off the applicator like that and it's perfectly sanitized and ready to go for the next time you use it. After I put the primer on, I like to pat it into my skin. That way it just really sets in. And I usually prep my lips with this Glossier mintbalm.com as well. So that's what's on my lips right now. Ew. In the month of September, I'm doing a no buy, so I'm trying to get through this Say foundation. Typically, I reach for this foundation anyway because it's really lightweight and it's really liquidy. It's like the perfect everyday foundation because it has a lot of skincare benefits in it. And typically, I just squirt like a half a pump on each side of my cheeks. And again, I'm always sanitizing my makeup, y'all. Like I do not play about this acne transferring bacteria, all right? And you shouldn't either. We need to be taking care of our faces. And then I need to get a foundation brush. I have them all scattered out on my desk right now, so sorry. I will use this e.l.f. buffing foundation brush. And I typically just like swipe down and then I pat it in. Foundation is a little bit light because oddly enough, I'm a little tan right now. So like low-key my foundations are a little light for me, but I put hella, am I allowed to say hella on YouTube? A fairy doesn't cuss. Sometimes she does, because people are irritating, but. And typically with all of my foundations, I go in and blend it in with the brush. That way I can get the max amount of coverage and then I build where I need to. Right now, I'm good with this. I'll spot conceal with my concealer afterwards. And we're gonna keep this brush at our side because I do use this for my cream bronzer and cream blush too, just to make sure everything blends seamlessly. I totally got the foundation wrong. I'm trying to project pan this skin tint for September, not the Say foundation, but it's okay. I'm trying to get rid of both of these this month, so we'll see about that. Typically, I use my Tower 28 bronzer in the shade Getty, but for September's Project Pan, I have the Persona Cosmetics shade in Dune, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with Dune instead when I'm doing my cream bronzer. I typically use my foundation brush and I just dip it into the product, and then I put it right on my cheekbone and blend upwards. Don't be afraid to get a little bit in your hairline because you want everything to mesh really well. And then I just do the same thing on this side. And you want to make sure you're patting and pressing into your skin and not swiping when you're applying cream bronzer and the cream blush. That way you're not disturbing the foundation underneath and you're not losing any coverage where you want. My bronzer does come out like a little messy at first, but it all comes together in the end. Okay, I put a little bit more for my forehead. Even though I have like a tiny forehead, like I shouldn't be putting this much bronzer on, but what can you do? Nothing, because this is how I do my makeup. I really hope you can't hear the news behind me because my grandparents listen to the news all day and I'm just like, okay, I get it. But I don't have the heart to tell them to turn the TV down or to change the channel while I'm filming, so. Okay, taking a little bit more bronzer. And I just put that on the sides of my nose like this for like a nose contour. This is the lazy way to contour your nose, like that. It just provides like a little bit of shadow. And then I go under stark line under here. The Kybella is working, y'all. Like this little pouch of fat is like nearly gone. Wow. If you watched my little video on TikTok, you know. This is how the skin is looking so far. I know this side, the bronzer is a little bit lower than this side, but it's okay. These Cali Ray liquid blushes are like actually pretty good, but then I love my Hourglass. But then I have this Makeup by Mario. Girl, hurry up and pick a blush. Like, what are you doing? The Makeup by Mario cream blush keeps like popping out at me. So I'm gonna listen to her and we're gonna use her today. This is the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil in the shade Perfect Pink. And it literally is the perfect pink. I just dipped my foundation brush into it. I probably shouldn't do that, but it's my life. I can do whatever I want. I just pressed that literally right on top of where I put the bronzer. And then I just kind of put that like into my eye, on the temple a little bit, and I make sure to really blend it into the bronzer. Borderline like canceling out the bronzer, but the bronzer is still there. You can still tell that I have bronzer on, I promise. And this Makeup by Mario is very soft. I like to apply probably a lot more than you're supposed to, and ew, I just showed you a dirty brush, but it's okay. We're all best friends here, okay? And usually I feel like I don't have enough blush on, so I just keep like patting, putting product on. But I think this is good. And then I put whatever's left over on my nose. And this blush is very, very dewy. So like if you're an oily skin gal, you're gonna wanna set this. I seriously cannot believe how good my skin looks right now. Like, stop it right now. Stop it. For concealer, most days I don't necessarily do this, but today I am because I feel like I have a little bit more darkness to cover. But this is the Cali Ray Color Correcting Concealer. This is in the shade Hideaway. It's the Brightening and Hydrating Under Eye Serum Concealer. And I just put this right where I have this darkness right here. Lack of sleep is really getting to me. And I let that dry down a little bit. I'm gonna take this Sephora 71 brush, and then I'm just gonna pat this in the area that I applied it, okay? You don't want to move around the color corrector. And the fan is blasting in my eyes, so if they start to look red and watery, that is why. No! I'm about to cry. I need to suck these tears up. About to ruin my makeup right here. Basically, my number one tip for makeup is to blend with a brush first so you get the most coverage, and then blend, excuse me, I had to burp. And then go in with a dry sponge. This is from Sonia Kashuk. Just like that. And honestly, I could just wear this color corrector by itself. Like you can see that it did a really good like brightening effect to my under eyes, but I love layering my makeup and I love doing the most with my makeup. I love maximalist makeup, okay? I'm gonna go in with my Tower 28 concealer to spot conceal. This is in the shade K-Town. These are the spots where I'm spot concealing. You know the drill. And then I'm gonna use my tried and true Tower 28 underneath my eyes too, because... And then we're gonna go in with the shade DTLA, which is lighter. This is my brightening shade. Letting that set down. And yeah, we're just gonna hang out for like a minute or two and wait for this to dry down so that way you get the most amount of coverage. So I'm using a different concealer brush than I did before. This is the Hourglass angled concealer brush. She's very fluffy, so I like to use her when I'm actually blending out my concealer. And I'm just gonna start with any of the areas that I spot concealed. And then now we're gonna blend underneath of the eye. Gently tap underneath the eye. And I like to go in an upwards motion. That way it gives me a snatch in this area. It just goes. And then I also like to take the concealer and I kind of go on the sides of my nose for that like reverse contour effect. Oh my God, my skin looks so good right now. Like, stop. Okay, I lied. We're actually gonna go back with the foundation brush because it has a little bit of blush and bronzer, and we're just gonna tap over the lines of the concealer. We're gonna go with OG Huda Beauty. And then you're gonna grab a cutie little powder puff. I got this one in like a pack of 12 off of Amazon. I really don't like the scent of the Huda powder. It smells like mature woman, and I don't like it. And now I'm taking my dry sponge underneath of my eyes just to make sure that there's no excess product that I'm gonna be setting. And then I'm gonna load up my powder puff. So just dipping it into the powder. And then since the powder puff looks like this, you don't wanna put this amount of powder on your face. So you're gonna wanna just tap off the excess on the back of your hand. Like, look how much excess powder just came off. So your powder puff should look something like this. Again, going in with the dry sponge to blend out any creases. All right, press and tap. Press and tap. Everywhere we put that concealer. And then whatever powder is on the back of your hand, you just pick it back up with the powder puff. And then you put this back on. I like to go up my nose right here, the side of my nose, and drag it out like that. So that way it gives the same effect as the concealer, the effect. Oh my gosh, this Huda powder just makes your skin look so airbrushed. We're just gonna continue this technique all over the face. And now I'm gonna take the same sponge and just brush it over the eyelid. Take a little bit of powder and just press that onto the eyelid as well, because we don't want our mascara to transfer onto our eyelid. Okay, and I'm gonna dump the like some of the powder back into the thing. And then whatever little powder is left, I'm gonna take a fluffy brush like this. This is the Sephora 50.5. And I'm just gonna take some of the powder, dust it off like that. And I'm gonna set the bottom half of my face like that. Don't ask me why I do this instead of just using the powder puff, because I don't know, I just like to do it. I have no explanation or reason behind this technique. Now that we're all set, we're gonna go in and set our cream products. So we're gonna do my Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzer in the shade medium. She is already hitting pan. I'm pretty sure I've had this well over the expiration date. It's been like 2 years probably, but I don't care because she still works. And again, I go a little bit heavier with my bronzer because my foundation is a bit lighter than like the rest of my body. So I want everything to match, obviously. I don't want to have like a pale face and then a tan body. Oh, this is the Patrick Ta dual-sided brush, by the way. I'm gonna take this side of the brush and I'm gonna gently like tap it into the product and like go down the sides of my nose. I used to contour my nose like so harshly. I mean, she looked snatched though, so not mad about it. But I did a lot of work for my nose contour in like 2020. And it's so funny because I used to be so insecure about my nose and now I like my nose. I definitely grew into it though. The puberty nose was not very nice. Okay, now for powder blush, this combo. I'm gonna do this combo. This is the Makeup by Mario Creamy Peach blush. I always put a peachy blush as my base for my blush. And I take this Makeup by Mario A22 brush and I just brush it along swirling up in the eyelid, up here, literally probably everywhere. And I blend it into the bronzer as well. A lot of people are like, don't put so much blush, don't put so much blush. Be quiet. I can put however much blush I want to. And again, I'm a fairy, so like, why wouldn't I want to be pink and blushy all the freaking time? I feel like the people who comment like blush blindness or like don't put on too much blush, like all that stuff, they just don't know how to put on blush, and they don't pick the right blush shade for themselves, so they think they look ridiculous with blush on. But it's like, baby girl, just ask for help. Ask me what shade of blush would be good for your complexion, and then maybe you won't hate on people who wear blush. Wow, that was very sassy. Showing more of my personality. This is the Rem Beauty Satin Matte Blush. This is in the shade Pinking of You. It's literally darling. I use this as like a brightening blush, so I just put it like more near my eye, like on the higher part of my cheekbone, and then everywhere else. So it's like a gradient. The cooler blush, and then the peachy blush, and then the bronzer. Like, you can tell the difference from this side and this side. I always double blush. I'm gonna have to trademark that, because that's my technique. I'm gonna go back in with my bronzer brush and just blend everything out again. And then I'm gonna go in with this fluffy brush again that we put the Huda powder on, and I'm gonna go over that as well, just to diffuse any lines. Okay, my brows are a little unruly right now because I haven't gotten them waxed. I'm gonna get them waxed soon. So I like to clean off my eyebrows just with like either a Q-tip or this little cloth that I have near me, or a cotton pad, or whatever you want to use. I think this is the Kosas Brow Pop Pencil. It's in the shade Brown Black. It has an applicator like that. I go in with the spoolie side first, and I just brush up my eyebrow hairs. I just brush all the hairs up like that. And then I go in, and whenever my brows are like super bushy like this, I fill them in more. I feel like I have to give them a little more structure than when I have my brows freshly waxed. So I do color them in like pretty dark. Now I just blend out the brows with the spoolie end. Get in the front right here. Ooh, accent change. It looks a little harsh, but don't worry about that. We're gonna take our concealer brush from earlier, and we're just gonna lightly go like in the front and like just brush like that. That way it kind of fades the brow into the rest of the brow. That way it doesn't look as crazy. Brow gel. I'm trying to declutter this brow gel from Kofi because I've had it for a while, so I'm gonna use her. I try not to press too hard on my brows with this because it can move around the pencil that I just put down, so I just try to lightly set my brows. They look like sisters. They're not twins, but it's okay. I think I'm gonna do eyelashes and then I'll do faux freckles, because faux freckles are usually like the finishing touch to my makeup. We're gonna do eyelash curler. This is the Tower 28 eyelash curler. I never used to be an eyelash curler girly until I started using this one. I've always just been like afraid, and I always felt like eyelash curlers didn't do much, but honestly, yeah, they do. Like, my eyelashes look super lifted now with mascara, and like I usually have these stubborn straight lashes like on the outer corners of my lashes, and now I'm able to like curl them to make them be a part of the full lash. So eyelashes are curled. Now I've been really loving the YSL mascara right here. She's bougie, but she's really good. Like, I cannot lie. I like to start my lashes at the root, and I like to hold my mirror like this and look down while I'm doing my mascara. That way I don't get mascara like all over my eyelids. And then I also back comb my lashes to get that thick volume that I love. Oh my gosh, I'm going to the Hosier concert tomorrow night with my best friend, and I literally don't know what I'm gonna wear. I don't know what makeup look I'm gonna do, so I'm like low-key stressing. Like, when in doubt, I have this makeup routine, but like I want to do something more whimsical, more fun. I'll be sure to post like on TikTok and Instagram my look as well. I love a spidery lash. Like, I'm sorry, this just, it just makes my face look so doll-like. brown mascara will never compare to black mascara. Black mascara will always be superior. I just love defining my huge brown eyes. Like, this just gives me the volume and the length that I hope and dream of. I love it. Now we're gonna go in with my Rudy Berry Freckle pen, as always. And then I put some right here to kind of connect, but not really. And I just kind of space them out on my cheeks as well, because I don't want them to be like too saturated, but I want just enough to where it makes a difference and you can tell that I have faux freckles. Yes, this is literally the perfect amount of freckles for me. Next is the lips, and then we're done. I'm trying to get rid of these two lip liners. This is the NYX in Nutmeg. It's really beaten up and really old. And this is NYX lip liner in the shade Natural. I think I'm gonna mix them. I got lip filler. I already feel like I need more. Like, I can tell a difference. I think I just got used to them now. But like, I would never get like huge lips because I just feel like that's not proportional to my face. I feel like I can get like a teensy weensy bit more. Okay, I definitely like overlined too much on this side, but we're gonna fix it. And then we're gonna do Natural. And then I'm gonna do my ColourPop lip gloss in the shade Pasadena. Yeah, I like this color with this look. My lips look really big though, but that's okay. I love big juicy lips. But yeah, I think that's it. Oh wait, no, my highlight. How can I forget my highlight? I've been liking this Rare Beauty. This is in the shade Mesmerize. It's more of the pinky highlighter, and I've been liking highlighting my nose with it. So I'll put like on the very tip of my nose, like, do you see where the light's hitting? And then in between my brow right here. It gives the illusion of a really straight nose and a really teeny tiny nose. But see, it gives like the right amount of glow. And sometimes I even like to go crazy and like go right here, just a little bit. And I really don't ever use setting spray unless I like want it to last like more than a typical day. Like if I'm going to an event or something, that's the only time I really do use like a setting spray. But other than that, this is the final makeup look. Oh my god, the skin literally looks so good. Like, I am so proud of myself for this. The skin is skinning, and she's been through a lot to get to this point. Oh, so freaking good, so freaking pretty. I love my routine so much. This is the final makeup look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I loved being able to like take a deeper dive into my everyday makeup routine and show you my tips and tricks. Make sure to leave in the comments some video ideas for me, what you want to see more from me, and make sure to like and subscribe as well. And make sure to follow me on my other platforms, TikTok and Instagram. I post a lot on Instagram and I interact a lot on Instagram, so make sure you follow me there especially. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!